Well, welcome back to the SPG YouTube channel. I'm Sean Prosser. It's great to see you back again. Um, I took my daughters for dinner last night, and we were talking about how far we're into the year already, and we're kind of at the end of August. And I said, before we know it's Christmas, and I said, and you would know this, but by the end of September, in Coles and Woolies, we start seeing all the Christmas stuff way in advance, and we get into that algorithm of, oh my God, Christmas is coming. And then, of course, on January 1 each year, when you go back into Coles or Woolies, hot cross buns are there. So, time moves so quickly, and that's a good segue into, time, lifestyle, and what we're doing here. And just to remind you, I'm Sean Prosser. I've been a licensed financial advisor for 25 years in Australia. I still do that. I love that business. I specialise in the retirement part of financial services, where I help people on their journey, building wealth, and then as they move into retirement, kind of the planning of what their retirements look like, what the goals, aspirations are, and help them with the affordability and show them how that works. And that led into this business, SPG, which we've just started. It's new. And I think that people's ideas of what retirement looks like, or even not even retirement, what lifestyle looks like, might now involve doing things differently. And an SPG, we specialise in helping people live their dreams overseas. Buying freehold property in Thailand. I said in my last report that it's about 25 years in the making. That's how I feel about it. This is a new business, I'm under no illusion. We've got a massive audience at the moment. We will build that. We've got an amazing marketing campaign starting very soon, and over the 3 months, we've got that campaign going out Australia-wide. So we're very excited to see where we can take this over that period of time, and how many people are interested in looking overseas for property investment and a lifestyle as well. Every weekend we do a little a video presentation, a kind of a long form one, where we talk about some of the subjects that we're going to cover, and some of the things that's happened in the week around Thailand, and maybe property, and we're going to do that today. So I've got 2 or 3 subjects I want to talk about, and we'll get straight into that. You may have seen that, or may not have seen that, there's some tension on the borders between Cambodia and Thailand at the moment. More than tensions, almost a war. People are dying, rockets are being sent, and that's been going on now for a little while. Pretty serious situation. I guess in this situation, this goes back to dispute over the border lines, how they were drawn up back in the day. And I guess in this situation, Thailand are the big brother in this, a much bigger military force. And everything I read shows and says that both countries want to remedy this. No one wants to go to war. But does that have an effect on what we're doing here? Probably not. I mean, it's in the skirmishes on the border at the top, northern part, so they don't really involve what we're doing here. Other than if there is a prolonged war, of course, economically that could be a bad thing. They're both powerhouses for each other. They do a lot of trade. So we'll watch this space and see what happens there. Something I've seen, because I'm in the algorithm on Facebook now with property, I get flooded with developers out of Thailand, and also Bali I'm seeing, because I'm right stuck in the algorithm now. And it's very interesting to see what's on offer and the kind of claims that are being made. One difference between my financial planning world is highly licensed. Everything's based on fact, on research. And in this property space, it kind of feels like you can say what you want and no one holds you to task. Indeed, I saw an advert yesterday for a new development in Phuket, that the tagline on the ad of this beautiful building that's not even there yet, it's still dirt, talks to you'll make between 40 and 80% return on investment in year 1, which is a huge thing to say. What is it, 40, or was it double that? And where do you get the 40 from in the first place? So I guess we're going to delve into the off-the-plan development purchases a lot more. It's a hazardous place in Thailand to do. There's very little consumer protection, and we're going to talk about that over the next few weeks. And I think it's something that people really need to be aware of, and research has to be done on the developer and where they are with these developments, because there are awful stories of people losing a lot of money when developments just don't get made. So we will revisit that, but it's very interesting to see the type of claims that are made there. In the financial planning world, if you ever see ads, and I see them still on Facebook, of returns on investment that seem too big to be true? Well, they generally are. What it means is there's an awful lot more risk, inherent risk in that investment than maybe that's being portrayed. So we will talk more about that. This week, what have we done? Well, on the Facebook page, on the SPG Australia Facebook page, we did do some comparisons, founded with good research on different areas and the areas where we'll be working in Phuket, Hua Hin, Pattaya, and even Bangkok. And we did some comparisons of where the condo market looks at the moment. Interestingly, those reliable sources are talking at the top end, return on investment around about 15%, 12 to 15%. And in the more quieter kind of places like Hua Hin, but Gulf Central, and we're going to talk more about that, lower return on investment, but a much less costing entry price. So they're good to go and look at, because if you think, I'd like to know more about investing as a lifestyle asset in Thailand, well, there's some comparisons there on the SPG Australia Facebook channels, Facebook page. So please go and have a look at those. What else have we done this week? Something that came up this week over the last few weeks is that Thailand are getting quite strict on who can open bank accounts in the country. Now, previous to this period, it was pretty easy to open up a bank account, but now the government are really, really clamped down on this. Reason being a lot to do with criminal activity and things of that nature. So what they've done is said, unless you own property in Thailand or you've got a long-term visa, if you're a foreigner, you're not permitted to open a bank account now, which is a real problem if you're looking to buy a property, because as you're trying to buy a property, you don't actually own the property, you haven't bought it yet. If you go to the bank at the moment and say, hey, I'm buying a property, I need a bank account, well, there's every chance they're going to say, no, you can't have one. And that's the likely outcome, according to my legal teams in Thailand. So it's the chicken and the egg scenario. The government are worried about money laundering and criminal activity, and yet they've almost put a halt on foreign investment in property, because you can't open a bank account to put money in there to pay for your property because you don't own the property yet. So it will get resolved. My legal team, I work with a number of different legal organisations over there. They're all saying, look, it's something they probably just missed, but that'll be resolved. But it would be an issue if you were buying a property today and desperately had a settlement date and you needed to open a bank account, it would be problematic. So I'll report back on that. What's coming up next week? So next week we will be looking at the buying off the plan and the perils and the issues there. Yes, buying off the plan can be a great thing to do, and you can make some quick gains, but there's an awful lot of risk in Thailand, so we need to analyse that and explain the work that needs to be done to be able, in order for you to do something like that. And we're going to also look at some strategies of, why you would buy and who you could buy with. So for an example, perhaps, now we know that Thailand is a great golfing destination, and Hua Hin is one of our target areas. Has 4 or 5 amazing golf courses there. Well, maybe there's a strategy where 2 buddies could buy property together and to share the costs, but also enjoy the upside of that. So we're going to look at that next week as well. That's about it. We're up to 8 minutes. I hope you have a great Sunday. I've got this cold again. I just got over it. It's come back. And so I'm nursing that, but it's not going to stop us working. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you here again next week.